Hey everybody, welcome back to Record-ology. All right, this is about the 15th take of this video. Let's see if I can get it right. Last time I had the record playing at 45 RPM. Let's try this again. All right, is there such thing as a digital record? Not really, because as you know, a record is the most analog format of sound available. It's completely analog. The stylus reads the grooves. You know that well. There was, however, in the 80s an attempt to sort of digitize the process. They had these giant record players that looked like Laserdisc players, and the tray would come out, put your record on there, would go in complete darkness, just like CD players have to have, and a laser would read the groove instead of a stylus, so it wasn't touching it. The problem is if there's any surface noise, anything whatsoever in that groove, then you are going to experience a lot of noise and whatnot, because the laser couldn't distinguish between physical surface damage or particles and from the actual groove modulation. So unless your record was pristine, it didn't sound that good, and the format kind of died off. However, in the early 80s, we were also getting a workable digital audio format, being the compact disc, which eventually started small in the 80s but grew to take over the market, as you know. And as you can see, we saw this logo everywhere: compact disc digital audio. Pretty soon, that logo started getting plastered all over these CDs, bigger than that even, like sometimes really filling the space. And people started associating the word digital with quality audio, with pristine sound. And so people in the music industry said, you know what, we need to market this. Somehow we need to market the word digital. However, most people still had analog records. They didn't have, you know, CDs yet. They're expensive. So when you've got analog records, which again, very analog sound, there's nothing digital about a record. How do you market digital audio, which is now synonymous with quality, to that audience, to those people, in an honest way, as honest as advertisers want to be? And you see right here, we got the word digital, plastered right on the record. This one, it's not featured that prominently, but it's still right up there in gold. This is saying it's so high quality, it's pristine, it's an audiophile thing, and yet we still have a analog record. So how can a record be digital? All records, for the most part, were mastered from analog tapes, big quality studio tape, not like compact cassette tape, but really high quality studio tape. And that tape does have, even though a lot smaller, a lot less than the tape that we use typically, did have some distortion, did have hiss. But at the same time, it could be improved upon by mastering and audio and providing the original recordings from digital sources. So that's what they started doing, providing records that were recorded digitally, and then making sure they plastered that word digital, where you could see it, because, oh, this is digital. This must be a high quality record. I found this and this, both music of John Williams. So you've got, soundtrack music, some of the best movies in the world, in the free bin. Didn't pay a dime for them. And they're practically unplayed. Both digitally mastered, glossy covers here, super high quality. I mean, if you look at the song list here, it's just, some of the best music, especially this one here. We've got the Olympic fanfare. We've got a lot of soundtrack stuff, including Star Wars, E.T., on and on and on. This was before Jurassic Park, but same composer. These records came in pretty decent slipcovers. I was going to show taking the record out, but it was on a previous take. They've got this anti-static surface here right where the label goes, which doesn't make a lot of sense. But again, pretty good stuff for free, right? And the record itself is absolutely pristine. There's nothing but perfection in that playing surface. It's been hardly played if ever. Here's the other one. Let's see if I can get it there. So as you can see, the playing surface is just gorgeous, just mint. And on the label, featured prominently, there it is, digital again. So super high quality record, thin. I mean, these things are paper thin. It's like a one of those Dynaflex discs. It's really thin, but at the same time, the playing surface is like glass. There's no surface noise whatsoever. There could be if it was treated poorly and collected a lot of dust and was used, but these particular ones are in great shape. So yes, you do get you get a decent improvement on the sound quality by the inherent fact that this was mastered from a digital source. So we're going to go ahead and play a little Star Wars for you here. Copyright-free little size sample of this. You can't, the quality isn't going to come across in the video because I'm just shooting the speakers with the camera. But you do notice, noticeably, there's no pops, crackles, and hiss. It is a very clean sound. And connected to a larger stereo sound, you can really hear that even more. But anyway, super cool stuff. Now, other records, the word digital was marketed in records in a lot of ways. Here's one, digital recording, a little bit more prominently featured up there. Audiophile pressing. Audiophile typically is about the weight of the record, the thickness of it. 180 grams would be a typical, we've talked about that. Look at this one, again in the free bin. Gorgeous record itself, but it also comes in the super high quality anti-static sleeve with a nice liner there as well. Digital recording mastered to an analog format. In theory and in practice, higher quality than a straight analog start to finish record. But not digital in the sense that you're still hearing analog sound. You actually can't even hear digital sound. Even a CD player, MP3, has to be converted back to analog sound before the human ear can perceive it. All right, and then finally I wanted to show you one more digital record here. This one, and those were Philips records. If you've ever heard of Philips, it's an electronics company, so they're probably sold with record players. Hey, congratulations on your new record player. Here's a, brand new digital record to go with it. This one as well is by Realistic, which, as you remember, is the brand for equipment brand for Radio Shack, which, those companies don't make records, so they partnered with somebody, probably RCA, similar to the Reader's Digest sets, to actually produce the physical record. But this one makes a little bit more prominent use of digital. So our first digital mastered symphonic recording of Christmas favorites. And on the back, as we've talked about so many times, records love to plaster with all of this real estate on the back of a record. They love to use that space to advertise technology, any kind of advancement, because if somebody's interested in buying this record, they're going to flip it over and say, oh, what's good about this? Oh, it's digitally mastered. So it was recorded on a digital format and then was mastered to a digital format. And what are we saving over the analog tape mastering? Like I said, minimal audio noise. So this says no audio noise, but the audio noise, the hiss is pretty much gone and the distortion is pretty much gone. So you do get a higher quality sound with these. I like this one because it even shows some geek information, the recording location, the mics, the board that was used and whatnot. And I just think that's cool stuff to know. Anyway, so there you go. That's pretty much an overview of what a digital record is as far as we know it. It comes in a nice, I like this sleeve because it's actually shaped, contoured to the record. That's kind of cool. And again, great playing surface, another free bin record here. And again, it's a digitally mastered analog recording, and mostly, as we see so much in records, a bit of marketing for a technology or something that was had perceived value in the public market. In this case, the word digital. All right, guys. I hope you enjoyed that video. Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, whatever you celebrate. Hope you get a good break from work. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you for being there. I appreciate you guys so much. Feel free to comment below, shoot me an email, and happy record hunting as always. Have a great holiday, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.